Hello, my butterflies. Look, y'all be so proud of me. Day two. Day two. So, welcome back to everybody who is subscribed, and thank you for joining. For those who are visiting for the first time, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Why do I have this in my hand? Because I just picked it up off the bed to put it back where it goes. Thank you guys for joining my channel. Today, you guys are going to do my warm up with me again. So, just my warm up, and then I will move on to start the rest of my day and be great. So, y'all ready? Okay, so house cleaning rules. Let me get some water while I do the house cleaning rules. So, house cleaning rules are if I pass out, it's okay. Um, I promise I'll be all right. Take my vitamin. Are you guys taking your vitamins? Look up with the CDC what vitamins they said are okay to take. I don't want to tell you in case I'm wrong. So, okay. So, that is it. And I do have on my vest under here this time. But I have this on because I want to sweat just a little bit more. It's a whole quarantine goals is life or something y'all young people say. Okay, so here we go. So if I pass out, it's okay. I promise there's somebody here to take care of me. If I don't pass out, then we're doing good, right? So then I could just do more tomorrow. This is my quarantine hairstyle. I don't do my hair, but it is done. Okay, so don't get messed up. If I take it down, we're good. How are you guys doing with this quarantine? I know that they are trying to get things in order in California, baby. And let me tell you, so I was riding in the LA area. I had to go drop off something to our prom dress, okay, pizzazz, to our prom dress sponsor for her to make some masks. So our beautiful Kasana is making masks and she's shipping them all over the place. And she was one of the first I saw to start doing it. So I just love seeing the people that support our program and that are in our program as directors or volunteers doing amazing things, because we are all about the community. And so when I see them doing those things just for a need, it makes me feel so good. So anything she asks me, I get up and do it. And she initially was just doing it, and it's kind of become an amazing thing for her, which is great because obviously with what's going on, okay, sway, because what's going on right now, I'm sure she won't be making prom dresses until maybe later if people decide to do something for their senior. So anywho, I was riding to LA, and when I was riding there, it had gotten so bad down there, you guys, that literally we have overpasses over our freeway. So the freeway goes this way, and then there are overpasses where the cars in the street, okay, drive over. And so what I began to see over the last, I really want to say the last year, last 12 months, I really saw a pickup that homeless were not just on the lining of the exits of the freeways and sway, but they were also on the overpasses. So if I'm riding by and I'm walking to my house or whatever, they literally were lined up there with tents, and it just broke my heart how much homelessness is going up. Now I have another thing that I want to talk about that. So put a pin right there. But when I went out there to take this stuff to Kasana, what I noticed is that it's not, it really looks like a ghost town in LA. It really, really looks like a ghost town. I've never been able to make it there as fast. I've never been able to explore and just drive that feels weird. I've never been able to drive just down some of the streets, because generally when I go to LA in the more congested areas, I'm trying to get in and get out, right? So our governor, I saw him on the news, and he was talking about how he has plans to also take care of the homeless while this pandemic is going on and things like that, and placing them and getting them the treatment that they need as well, and then working on a long-term plan. So to see it, that they really are doing it, child, really makes me feel good to be out there helping with whatever families that I could help with, and then also to know that California cares. So just to update for anybody who doesn't live in California, if they want to know if our governor is really doing all the things that the news says he is, he is. So I'm very proud to be a Californian right now, which is not very typical, but I'm super proud. And so that's something that warmed my heart, because when things happen, I always think about the homeless, because in my area, well, not in my immediate city, but in the area I grew up in and then the other areas, is really a lot of homelessness. And so what I have done is I have showed my niece and nephew what will happen if you make bad decisions. And then here's the other thing. What can happen if you didn't make bad decisions? There's so many people out there who are homeless who I don't know if they necessarily made a bad decision, because if they became homeless because it's so expensive to live here, and you know, like something like this happens and you lose your job, and you know, people could say, oh, well, you shouldn't live paycheck to paycheck. You shouldn't live beyond your means. What I will tell you, babies, I'm talking to my kids and I'm talking to the people that are judgmental. What I will tell you is that in California, everything is beyond your means. And people always say, well, why don't you just move? If it was that easy, why do people keep moving here? Why do we have so many people here? If we didn't have so many people here, we wouldn't have this problem. You want to know why we have so many people here? Because our weather, now this is from the news, not my opinion, but I agree. So I was watching the news, the local news, which I've been doing a lot more lately, as long as it's not corona or virus related. There was a lady on TV who was working on housing for homeless, and she showed a chart on a 5-year projection that she did, and then and it came with what she projected to be the homelessness rate, and then oh Lord, the plan she had to build structures and help and all of that, right? So she showed what she really built, and then she showed the numbers. She's already exceeded what she thought would happen within 5 years. And the reason why is because she was projecting it based on what the likelihood of, you know, people coming here and things like that. And it doubled. So I won't necessarily say the big numbers is a California problem or bad decisions, because how many of those people came from other states and weren't prepared for what it's like here? It's no joke. This is not somewhere that you just move and say, oh, I'll make it when I get there. This is not the place for it. It's just not. Plenty of families are living together because it's just so expensive. And so, do I think that's a bad decision? Absolutely. I don't think that's a good decision. Why would you move away from your home to come somewhere like California without a plan? Oh Lord, y'all, they done moved on. They done doing the salsa. So yeah, why would you do that? So then within the same study, had a particular study done for USC or UCLA, not sure which one, but it was because there were a lot of students who line the streets and they live in their cars. And I was like, students living in their cars, why don't they just go home? I itch when I work out. Sweat makes me itch. That's why I can't work out. It makes me itch. Okay, get back to it, Asia. Okay, so they're living in their car. And I'm like, thinking to myself, because the world's not all about you, but I'm thinking to myself, goodness, I hope Sky and KB don't do that. If you go somewhere and you can't make it because it's too expensive, go back home. Because here's the thing. They interviewed a couple of those, it was young men. They interviewed a couple of them, and they're like, well, what do you do? Well, when the study center opens up, I go in there, I stay there all day, and then I just sleep in my car. Where do you do the shower? Oh, I go to the gym, which by the way is closed right now. I go to the gym and I just keep my membership. And so they ask them, like, do your parents know what's going on? And every last one of them said, no, my parents would never let me do this. Go home. Don't start out in a position like that, because here, I'm not even like, I've stayed on my own since I've been 21, since I've been 21. And I've never had to move back home, but I have struggled. And I struggled because I was working and trying to go to school at the same time, but I struggled with a roof over my head. You know, those are lessons that it's okay to learn. It's okay to embrace difficulty, and that strengthens your critical thinking. It strengthens your humility, and your ability to survive. And guess what? Your ability to be appreciative of what you have. Because for me, I was okay as long as my bills were paid. I had money to get to work. And obviously, I had food on the table. The extra stuff didn't matter to me because I had a bigger mission. But I can't see myself sacrificing so much to, I don't even have a roof over my head. And what I think are necessities, I don't understand why you would do that. And so then when you get out of college, remember we're rolling with, do I think people made that happen? Do I think they made poor choices? Now I'm starting over with where that poor choice could have started. 2 different places. I talked about the people that move here that have no idea what it's like because they didn't use Google to tell them what our economy is like, what the jobs are like. They didn't have a job when they got here. They going off of the 80s when people moved here just to make it. It's not like that anymore, okay? And then 2, the college student, right? So the college student, now let's say they graduate, right? So first of all, I want to know where faster, okay. I want to know where the parent is visiting them when they come for the graduation. And not wondering why they don't have an address to send them something to. Or you think they say P.O. Box? Probably say P.O. Box, huh? Okay. Well, so now, okay, they graduate, right? The economy here, you need a degree and experience to get a job in most situations because we have a lot of people, a lot of amazing colleges, a lot of people that come here to take some of those jobs, right? So, okay, well, okay, raise the roof and push back from the table. And then pizzazz, spirit fingers, I don't know. So now you are out there fighting for this one position with all of these people. And so you've already started not on a good foot because you're staying in your car. Because you're expecting that when you get done, you will get this amazing job because you have a degree now. It's not the way it works. And one of the people, a guy, he had an engineering degree and he was a bartender because it paid more. And when they asked him, well, at least as a bartender, if you and your friend are staying in your Honda Civic, why don't you guys get like a studio? At least you will have plumbing and things like that. And he said, well, rent is just too much. We would rather do this and save money. Y'all, we have Arizona next to us, which by the way is a great state to start. I actually moved to Arizona for a year. When I first moved out, my first apartment was in Arizona. And I saved lots and lots of money. And we have Nevada next to us. We have Texas next to us. If this is somewhere you want to come, I would suggest you do it when you're ready. Although you're never ready here. So expensive. But yeah, so with regards to homelessness, I think that every decision that we make has a consequence. And if you don't make good decisions, you could end up homeless. And if you end up homeless, that's generally not something that just lasts a little while. And I don't mean homeless as in staying with a friend for a couple months because people consider that homeless. I mean homeless like living in your car where you're unsafe, living on the street where you're unsafe. If sometimes it's a good idea to step back Make your decisions. Oh, thank you for slowing down, honey, because my legs, I'm telling you, my legs is only 2 inches long. And y'all got me running like the road runner. Um, Sometimes it's a good idea to step back and then reevaluate things, right? And so if you need to take the time to rethink a decision, even one that you're in the middle of, don't be too proud to do it, because stepping back and starting over can sometimes push you years ahead of where you would have been had you not stopped. Okay. But that is what happens when you have, I would say, wisdom. I would say good discernment. I would say decision-making skills, which unfortunately not a lot of you have at this point, because we as the village have said, you know what? I struggled really hard when I was in school, and when I was just doing it, I just want them to go to school, meaning elementary, junior high, and high school. What? We should have been giving them chores. They should have had other things to do. Now they feel like I just have to do one thing. We didn't make them babysit their little brothers and sisters. Yeah, we messed up, but messed up out of love. The same way it's going to happen with every single generation. But again, they don't feel like they need to do more than one thing at a time. And so those decisions that you're thinking that they're going to just make now because they are 18 or they're 17, they're not making those decisions. You want to know why? Because their brain doesn't even work for those decisions. You want to know why? Because when you even ask them to make a decision while you're trying to test it out or teach them, by the time you're done telling them what you want, you get so frustrated that you take over the decision, make it for them, they get what they want, and you move on next to the next thing we shouldn't be doing. But what I can tell you is that only hurts them in the end, and it only hurts you as well. It's a vicious little cycle. And not being able to make a decision. What if something were to happen to you, mom and dad? You have to know that, okay, you have to know that they can take care of things in the event that something happens to you. Quick story before I go, because I need air. And I have to shut the window and do all of these things that I'm recording, because remember, the drummer boy, the twins that pounce on the wall like thing 1 and thing 2. See, this is my wall right here. This is my headboard. Their wall is right behind here, right? So this is my closet, so it echoes through there. If it's closed, I should be able to hear them like that. They wake me up right here. They start right here. Then after they're done here, then they move over here and play the conga drums. So anyway, last story. Okay, last story before I leave, or last thing I will share while y'all work out with me is, okay, just flow. So when my mom goes to the hospital, for whatever reason, the first thing she says is, oh, I knew my girls would be okay. And I'm like, mama, we old. Like, did you really think we wouldn't be able to take care of stuff? And you should hear, like, when she call home sometimes, or here at my house, she'll be like, did Kiara do this? Did Kiara do that? Asia, what did you eat? Blah. Whew, your parents is going to always be your parents. So parents, you're probably always going to ask those type of questions. But what you really want is the comfort of knowing that you provided them with the tools to make good decisions. If you stay anywhere near that felt good. If you stay anywhere near where there is a homeless population, I would strongly suggest that at Thanksgiving time or Christmas time, I don't know about this year with the social distancing, but take your kids down there so they can see what it's really like. And not only to see what it's really like, but to serve. It's so important to learn how to serve at this point. So many people are focused on what's going wrong, and I'm so tired and I don't like this. Focus just as much on how to serve. Because I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that, I can be very, very honest and say I don't think that I would have been okay going through these things. I kept myself busy by caring about other people and also caring about myself. I also began therapy again. Whatever you need to be okay is what you need to do. However you need to let your kids go a little bit, which is a little bit difficult at this time because we're kind of stuck in the house. utilize those things, even if it's you being able to go to the store and leave your oldest there with the younger kids. I'm not leaving my kids. They're going to kill them. They're not going to kill them. So what if they break their arm or something? Disclaimer, I did not say break anybody's arm. I did not say I'm okay with breaking somebody's arm. I said it's okay. They will be okay. I'm just saying. So anyway, it's okay. We've all had something. I pushed my sister into a Christmas tree. My mom came home and there was a big hole in the Christmas tree. What happened? We don't know. The hole just got there, Mom. So I'm just saying, let them make some decisions so that they don't end up making terrible decisions like that because they're trying to hold on to something so hard that they are not willing to sacrifice or do something else. So that is my conversation for today. Before my heart rate goes all the way back down because I can feel the sweat, I'm going to let you guys go and get back to my workout. So, goodbye, butterflies, goodbye. Goodbye, butterflies, goodbye. Goodbye. Harley does that, by the way. It's very aggressive. Okay, goodbye for real. Goodbye.